For the past couple years, the whole conversation around AI has been about what it can create. But what if the next big leap isn't about creating at all, but about doing? And that is the huge shift we're going to talk about today. The move from AI the creator to AI the doer. I mean, we've all played with generative AI, right? You toss a prompt to something like GPT-4 and boom, you get a whole essay. You describe a crazy scene to DALL-E and suddenly there's this incredible image on your screen. These AIs are basically our creative sidekicks. Super powerful for sure, but they're all about generating content. But here's the really interesting question, right? What happens when AI stops just giving us suggestions, like a recipe or a travel itinerary, and actually starts acting on them? Booking the flights, ordering the groceries, managing a whole project, all by itself. This is the massive leap we're talking about, from just suggesting to actually doing. Okay, so to really get our heads around this leap, we have to get clear on what we even mean by an AI agent. It's a term you're going to start hearing everywhere, so let's break down what it is exactly. So think of the world of AI kind of like those Russian nesting dolls. The biggest doll, that's artificial intelligence. You open it up, and inside you've got machine learning, then deep learning, and then the generative AI we know so well. But AI agents, they're not just the next doll in the line. Instead, they're like a whole new system that sits on top, using all of those other layers to operate on a completely different level. So what is an AI agent really? Well, it's not just a model. It's an entire autonomous system. It can take in information, it can make its own decisions, but the most crucial part, the real game changer, is that last bit. It can actually execute a plan to get to a goal. And we can break that down into this simple, really powerful loop. First, it perceives what's going on. That could be a command from you, or just data it's pulling from the internet. Second, it makes a decision, often using a large language model as its brain to figure out the best way forward. And finally, it executes the actions, carrying out these complex, multi-step tasks completely on its own. This whole loop really helps us nail down the core idea here, the creator versus the doer. This is where the AI we've gotten used to and the AI that's coming next really go their separate ways.
The difference really all boils down to purpose and autonomy. A generative AI, its whole purpose is to create content for you when you ask. But an agent, its purpose is to get a task done, to reach a goal, all on its own. And that's why agents have such high autonomy. They can figure out the how by themselves, which means they need way less hand-holding from us to get the job done.
And we can see this difference in the tools themselves. We know GPT-4 is a creator. But for the doers, you can think of things like Microsoft's Copilot or AutoGPT. And just look at the tech stack. It's more complex. Agents use the same powerful language models, yeah, but they add more tools to their belt, like natural language processing to understand us better, and robotic process automation to actually do things in other software. And, critically, they also have memory, which lets them learn and adapt as they go.
Okay, so that's the theory. It sounds cool, but where are these agents actually showing up? Let's take a look at a few examples of AI agents that are already out there doing their thing in the wild.
Well, the most common place you'll see them is in the next generation of digital assistants. And I'm not just talking about asking it to set a timer. We're talking about an assistant you can say, hey, plan my trip to the conference next week. And it goes off and finds the flights, books the hotel, puts it all on your calendar, and even manages the confirmation emails. It perceives your goal, decides on a plan, and executes it.
In more specialized fields, we're seeing agents automate really complex research. Just imagine an agent that you can tell to find the 10 most important scientific papers on a topic, then summarize what they found, point out where they disagree, and put together a draft report for you. That's not just a fancy search, that's high-level, goal-oriented knowledge work.
And hey, it's not all just happening on our screens. An autonomous robot in a warehouse, or even a rover on another planet, is a perfect example of a physical AI agent. It uses sensors to perceive its surroundings, decision-making models to navigate around things, and its motors to execute actions and, complete its mission.
So, where is all of this heading? Well, the rise of these AI agents really signals a fundamental shift in how we relate to technology. We're slowly moving away from using AI as just a tool and moving toward collaborating with it like a genuine, capable teammate.
This entire evolution is all about what one researcher, Homeira Oroujzadeh, calls moving toward true autonomy. And that's the key, right? This isn't just about making our tools a little bit smarter. It's about building systems that can operate independently to achieve the goals that we give them. So if there's one big idea to walk away with, it's this. AI agents are what you get when you combine the incredible creative intelligence of generative models with reasoning, memory, and the ability to actually interact with the world. That combination, that's the secret sauce that lets them act on their own.
And that leaves us with one last pretty mind-blowing question to think about. For decades, we've been focused on building better tools, but now, for the first time, we're building teammates. So when our AI can not only help us think, but can actually help us do, what new frontiers of science, business, and creativity will we be able to achieve together?